Solving the following trigonometric equation. Cosine 3x is equal to sine 3 over 2 pi plus x. So, what is here interesting? On one end, we have 3x. On the other end, we have 3 over 2 pi plus x. So, we need to kind of match them up, have them x, either x, 3x, or 3 over 2 pi. So make sure they have the same arguments, and we have sine and cosine. So either cosine bring to sine or sine bring to cosine. That's the goal. What we are going to do, I'm looking for looking at 2 sine 3 over 2 pi plus x, and we have formula for this. Formula is for sine alpha plus beta or sine alpha minus beta. So sine alpha plus beta, which is our case, alpha is 3 over 2 pi, beta is x, is equal sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha and sine beta. So for minus, we put here minus. Okay, let's open up. Let's see what we get. So we are getting cosine 3x is equal twice. So using formula, it's going to be sine 3 over 2 pi cosine x plus cosine 3 over 2 pi sine x. Okay, well, let's see, what do we have here? Sine 3 pi over 2, it's 270 degrees. Look here. 270 degrees, it's right here, and the sine here is -1, right? So 0, -1. So how much is the sine? It's going to be -1, sine 3 over 2 pi. Now cosine 3 over 2 pi is 0, which is going to be here 0. So from here we are getting cosine 3x is equal, so sine 3 over 2 pi, it's a -1, we are getting -2 cosine x, right? Okay, -2 cosine x. This one is going to go to 0, right? All right. Now, let's move everything on one side. Cosine 3x plus 2 cosine x, and it's equal 0. All right. So I have here 3x, and here I have x. So both of them I have cosine x. That's good. Now I have 3x and x. What can I do here? I'm going to break down cosine 2x and x. Okay. So I have cosine 2x plus x, which means I'm going to, let me see, write down formula for cosine alpha plus beta, because we have sum of cosine, right? So I need to add here cosine alpha plus beta is equal cosine alpha cosine beta minus sine alpha sine beta, right? And in the case of subtraction, here also will be subtraction. So let's use it. It is going to be cosine 2x cosine x minus sine 2x sine x, and rewrite 2 cosine x. That is equal 0. What is next? So I still have cosine 2x. Now let's say sine 2x I can use. Sine 2x I can use double angle, formula for double angle, which is going to be sine to alpha is equal to sine alpha cosine alpha. And we used it in previous examples, right? Solving trig functions. Now, what is new here is going to be cosine 2x. So we know that 1 plus cosine alpha is equal to cosine squared alpha half. This is formula for half of angle. Now, this one is formula for double angle. Since this is sine alpha, then cosine alpha to alpha. Since this is sine to alpha, then also there is a formula for cosine to alpha, double angle. And this one, let me see, and this one is a formula for half of angle, to cosine squared alpha half. So if I use this formula, because I need 2x convert to 1x, right? Get in format of x. So my 2x is this cosine alpha, because that's what I need. I need to half of this 2x, right? Angle. So therefore I'm taking cosine alpha. So from here, cosine alpha, it's going to be equal to cosine squared alpha half minus 1. Therefore, I'm going to break down cosine 2 cosine squared x, because half of 2x is going to be x, minus 1, right? This is what it is, times cosine x. And sine 2x, it's going to break down 2 sine x, cosine x, times sine x, and plus 2 cosine x. Okay, so we have 2 terms here, right? This is 1 term. This is actually 3 term, okay. We have 3 terms. All right. Do we have cosine in all 3 terms? Common factor? We have cosine x in all 3 terms, right? Okay, let's take out cosine x. If I take out, I will have 2 cosine squared x minus 1 minus 2 sine squared x and plus 2. And that's all is equal 0. All right. So what's coming next? Let me see. I'm going to see if I take 2 as a common factor, I will have negative sine square x plus 1, or 1 minus let me do drafting here. I'll write down this way, 2 minus 2 sine squared x. Okay, if I take 2 out, I get 1 minus sine square x, right? And it's going to be cosine square x. Why? Because this is a fundamental formula that we all know. Cosine square alpha plus sine square alpha is equal 1. Therefore, we are getting to cosine x. And as a result, we have cosine x 2 cosine square x minus 1 and plus 2 cosine squared x. Whew, look how much we simplified to arrive here. Okay, so from here, what do we get? We have either cosine x is equal 0, or we have 4 cosine square x is equal positive 1. So when cosine x is equal 0, when do we have cosine x is 0? Okay, let me clean this. Cosine x is equal 0, right, at this point, right? Because x is equal to 0. Because cosine represent our x-axis and sine x represent our y-axis. So x is 0 on the y-axis, so which is cosine x is equal 0. That is half a pi. Where else is equal 0? Right here. So at the point of half a pi, at the point of 3 over 2 pi. And they are differing by 180 degrees. So 180 to here, 180 to here. And from here, I can write down x is equal pi over 2 plus pi n, meaning 180 degrees. And as many times as you want, n. Amount of times of 4 pi. Now for cosine square x is equal 1, that's mean cosine square x is equal 1/4, and cosine from here is equal plus minus 1/2, right? So when our cosine has 1/2, let me bring this up, this unit circle. Oh, okay. Here it is. One more. That's good enough. So cosine x is equal 1/2. All right, so let's see where we have cosine equal plus minus 1. So cosine is the first coordinate, right? So we have it right here, 1/2. Here we have negative 1/2. Here we have negative 1/2. And here we have positive 1/2. So what's happening here? If I provide diameter, which makes 180 degrees, here also, so what's happening? Can I put pi over 3? This is pi over 3. Plus 180 degrees because it's a direct straight line, and 2 pi over 3 plus 180 degrees, right? Okay, so from here we will have x is equal pi over 3 plus Pn, and we have pi is equal 2 pi over 3 plus Pn. Okay, so the answer here, we have pi over 2 plus Pn. We have pi over 3 plus Pn. And we have 2 pi over 3 plus Pn. Okay, moving to next question. 1 minus cosine 4x equals sine 2x. So again, what we see, 4x and 2x. So it's easy to bring 4x to the level of 2x. And we can do that using formula 1 minus cosine alpha equal 2 sine squared alpha half. So which means from this one, 1 minus cosine 4x, it's going to be 2 sine squared 2x. And moving this 2x minus sine 2x equals 0. So from here, taking out sine 2x, and we are getting 2 sine 2x minus 1 equals 0. So from here, since we have product, so either sine 2x equals 0 or 2 sine 2x equal 1. So 2x equals 0, then x is equal pi over, okay, let's go slow. Okay, let's say we have unit circle. Well, that's weird, it didn't react. 1 second. Trying one more time. Well, okay, whatever. So what do we have? We have that the cosine is equal 0. Sine is equal 0. When sine is equal 0. Sine is equal 0 at the point of 0, right? Angle 0, because it has cosine is equal 1, and sine x is equal 0. And the other point is pi, which is 180 degrees. So where cosine is -1 and sine is 0. Okay, so that means instead of putting 0 plus pi times n, we just put pi n. Okay, and from here, x is equal pi over 2n. Now 2 sine 2x is equal 1. From here, sine 2x is equal 1/2. Okay, 2x is equal, let's see, the sine of what angle has 1/2? It's a pi over 6, right? Where else we have sine equal 1/2? Where is it? Here it is. 5 pi over 6. See, here's also sine is equal 1/2, and here it's also 5. The sine is equal 1/2. So 2x is equal plus or minus pi over 6. It's pi over 6 was right? Yes. Pi over 6 plus 2 pi n, right? Okay. And the next one is 5 pi over 6. Hold on, this is positive only. And the other one, 5 pi 6. Pi over 6 plus 2 pi n. And from here, x is equal pi over 12 plus pi n. And x is equal 5 pi over 12 plus pi n. So the answer is going to be pi over 2n, pi over 12 plus pi n, 5 pi over 12 plus pi n. Okay? All right. And moving lastly to the third one. So 1 plus cosine 4x is equal cosine 2x. We already know how to reduce, right? 4x bring to the level of 2x. And that is going to be this formula. 1 minus, we have positive. So, okay, it's going to be 1 plus cosine alpha. And that is equal to cosine squared alpha half. Remember, 1 plus cosine alpha, it's giving you 2 cosine square alpha half, but 1 minus cosine alpha, it's giving you 2 sine square alpha half. Since we have 1 plus cosine for x, so we're going to use plus, so we will get cosine, which will work perfectly because on the other side we also have cosine 2x. Okay, so what do we get here? We are getting 2 cosine squared 2x is equal cosine 2x. Okay, doing some simplifications, minus cosine 2x is equal 0. Well, taking cosine 2x, common factor, 2 cosine 2x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so from here, cosine 2x is equal 0, or 2 cosine 2x is equal 1. Okay, cosine 2x is equal 0. We already looked here. We already know, right? Okay, let me bring this down also. We are going to use it. Okay, we arrived. So cosine 2x is equal here 1. Now from here, 2x is equal. Okay, where do we have cosine equals 0? It's gonna be half a pi in this point, right? And it's gonna be 2 pi over 2, which means we're gonna rotate by 1 pi, right? 1 pi here, 1 pi there. So it's gonna be 2x is equal pi over 2 plus pi n. And from here, x is equal pi over 4 plus pi over 2n. Okay? Now let's take care of 2 cosine 2x is equal 1. And from here, cosine 2x is equal 1/2. Right? Where do we have cosine equal 1/2? We have at this point, right? And we have at this point 5 pi over 3. Okay, so 2x is equal 1/2. So 2x is equal pi over 3 plus 2 pi n, because we are interested only in positive 1/2, right? We are not interested in negative ones, only in this one. And only in this one, because only in these 2 points we have cosine equal positive 1/2. So from here, x is equal pi over 6 plus pi n, right? And the other case, 2x is equal 5 pi over 3 and plus 2 pi n, and x is equal 5 pi over 12 over 6, I'm sorry, and plus 2 and plus pn. Okie dokie, I'm done. Thanks for watching, and I'll record some more videos solving trigonometric equations. I'm going to solve a lot of trigonometric equations because it's a weak part of student usually, and step by step we will use almost most of the formulas so you can practice and learn. Okay, and at the same time I will continue at their CAT math preparation, so test yourself. That also seems to me students like it and look at it. So this is going to be in the short term. After that, I will start doing calculus 2 integrals. So we will move to calc 2 and do integrals, the nightmare of students. But once you learn, it's not going to be difficult, and I'll do my best to make it easy on you. So please, you can inform your friends who is struggling in calculus, so they can watch it, because I'm going to solve a lot of problems. We solve quite a few in derivatives, chain. I'm using chain rule, and I think I'll go over L'Hopital and other stuff also in moving to, and then we'll move to integrals. And lastly, once we finish integrals, I will go to calc 3. That's the most the fun part, 3D dimension, using calculus in 3D dimension. Okie dokie, see you in next video.